What we'll be going into is we talk about one of the risk areas, and this does pertain to how our employees relate with our company, phishing. Now, we've heard of this term. Usually, it's email is how this happens. There's some sort of an enticement to click on a link or an attachment, and it's designed to allow hackers to access or steal data or infect the system with some sort of a malware. It may come in many forms, so I'm just going to read some of these and you'll go, yeah, I'm not going to fall for that. But I'll give you a couple that are popular. How about the Nigerian prince asking for assistance with transferring some money? Man, he figures that you're a trusted person that can help him with that. He'll give you a cut of it, of course. How about that you've won a lottery and you just have to, click this link and give them a little bit of some money to help pay for the shipping so they can get all this to you. Now, maybe those you may laugh at, but what about this? It's starting to get a little more interesting. Potential fraud detected on your credit card. An email sent you for that. What about this last one? Notification of a package shipment delay. Would you be tempted to click on any one of these? Even worse, would one of your employees be tempted to click on one of these in their rush to clear out their inbox? So we may laugh and think, oh, I'm not going to fall for any of those. But if you're curious, if you're tempted, even just a little quick second, if your employee is, all it takes is one click, and that's what they're looking for. There's a different version of this, though. It's called spear phishing. This is targeted. This is a targeted method where they're going to have something with relevance to you. It's not random anymore. You may have something coming from your bank, warning of you a possible problem with your account, and you got to click and enter your account information in order to verify it's you. What about from your tax preparation software? They're targeting you. They're trying to say, hey, there's a security concern. We need you to enter your password. You need to log in with your EFIN. Of course, they're trying to get this information out of you. What you want to do in those, if you're not sure, is always the safest thing is it's kind of like verify first. Don't just trust that, oh, it's coming from my tax preparation software, so I know it's okay. Most of these links, you hover over them and you can look at it in the email address itself. They can be altered. I saw one recently that came from supposedly American Express, who, we accept American Express cards in our office here, but it was like aid at the end of it where you say at, it was a.americanexpress.com. What they did is they created a little bit different of a domain so it would look like it's the right one, but make sure before you click. These spear phishing ones are the ones that are really getting people with. Some organizations use advanced filtering. It's designed to prevent a lot of those from reaching employees, if at all possible. But some slip through the very best of systems, and sometimes it's difficult to get users. So this is talking about our employees, the various people within your organization, just to slow down and think before opening an email, before clicking on a link or attachments. For a company that has very little or no training, of course that it's alarmingly high click rate that they just click on them because, oh yeah, I'll just see what this is. I'm not sure if it pertains to me, but I'm going to see what it is. All it takes is that single click to potentially affect an entire network. So I promised I would share with you the story that happened this week. I know of one of the really, really large companies in town. They actually pay another company to do testing because they train their employees. And they think, you know what, our employees are good. They're not going to do this. They have 150 employees. They did this test saying, oh, you need to, they even put a really funny, I got to see the email. They put a fake name in for the HR department. They're like, oh, it's time for employee, I forgot, it was like a survey. We want you to tell us what you think about your job right now. And here's this link. We need you to enter your workplace credentials. Out of the 150 employees, within, I think, the first 5 minutes, they had 45 of them already click on it and put in their credentials. So even companies that you are doing a really good job training employees, so in that one instance, that was 45 out of 150 within just a few minutes that would have, if this was a true attack, opened the door to the entire organization. So it's that we have to certainly educate ourselves, educate our employees, but the best thing is just slow down and think before you open something. If you're not sure, contact them by phone, contact them directly, go to the website of the legitimate company and see if there's anything about, oh, hey, we have a security risk. They're going to put it on their website. Don't just click a link randomly. There's also another category of risk is malware and ransomware. Basically, malware is just short for malicious software, is where the word came from. It's something that's installed without the user's knowledge, And it's from usually, almost always, an attachment in some sort of a phishing email. That's almost always where malware gets installed from. Or, secondarily, a visit to an infected website. We have controls here that we don't allow our employees to go to a whole lot of websites that will inherently have higher risk of infection just by going to the website. That's another way that you can infect in a system, is just going to, we won't find it with professional websites most often and those that we are using in a business capacity, but if somebody on their lunch, and I speak from a lot of experience, by the way. A few years ago, I had a problem with one of my employees kind of abusing our computer systems in the sense that she was always on gaming on her lunch hours, and then it kind of gradually got more and more into her working hours. But yeah, terrible things that I've experienced. But it was that these gaming sites were known to potentially have infectious software. So all these little things that can be a risk to our system, if we know about them, we can instill security measures, and our security measure is we blocked those kind of sites, and we don't have to worry about it anymore. It can come from infected media. If you think about that, have you just, take a data supplied by a client on a thumb drive and just popped it right in a machine without any thought? That in itself, maybe they don't mean to, but maybe it has an infected software on there. So all these areas could be areas where malware can be installed on our machine. So what does it do? Now you have an infected machine. You usually have no idea that your computer is infected. Here's the kicker. Sometimes it can stay dormant for months before something triggers it or before it's activated. It may be designed in the background to steal data or passwords. Some of them are called that's called keyloggers. They'll sit there and pay attention to what you're typing, and in repetitive keystrokes, they may say, "Oh, this is a password." And if you're using that rule where you don't want to use the same password for everything, those become a lot more obvious, certainly. But malware may be designed to take over a system. The thing is, the bad guys in the olden days, back in the good old days, right? Bad guys had to have a lot of technical expertise. They were ones that they wanted to prove that, they were so smart and intelligent in programming that they could do bad things just because they could. But now that doesn't really exist as much. Bad guys don't have to have technical expertise. It's becoming an underground business. So bad motive and intent is pretty much for sale in various dark areas of the internet, that you can be like, hey, I want this particular type of malware, and there's somebody there that's willing to sell it. It's like a business venture for them.